Breaking the boundaries of common sense. This is Censor Studio. Everyone, the whole world is in shock right now. North Korea is reportedly preparing to deploy up to 30,000 more troops to support Russia in Ukraine. This looks like it will have very negative consequences for South Korea. Let's discuss this issue today and dive right in. A recent cable news network report has security experts and intelligence agencies worldwide on edge due to a significant story. The report said that North Korea is preparing to send between 25,000 and up to 30,000 troops to Russia. This is not a mere assumption, but information based on findings by Ukrainian intelligence agencies, making it far more noteworthy. However, it's hard to dismiss this as Ukrainian propaganda. South Korea's National Intelligence Service has also confirmed this to some extent. The National Intelligence Service reported to the Intelligence Committee that North Korea is likely to send more troops to Russia in July or August, according to its recent analysis. North Korea has reportedly started practical preparations for selecting troops to be dispatched, according to the report. This indicates it's not merely a plan, but a military operation that has begun execution. In fact, Cable News Network reported, in May 2025, reports emerged of a Russian Raputia-class landing ship previously used to transport North Korean troops, docking again at the Dunai port in Russia's Far East. Joe Burr, the Open Source Center's chief analyst, told Cable News Network that the route used to move North Korean troops in 2024 could be reused for large-scale personnel transfers. North Korea and Russia's cooperation is strengthening over time. On June 17, during Sergei Shoigu's visit to North Korea, the country agreed to send 1,000 engineers and 5,000 construction workers to assist with restoration in the Kursk region. However, sending an additional 30,000 combat troops is quite significant. At this moment, North Korea is likely planning the deployment, weaponry, and training for those 30,000 troops. Typically, 30,000 troops constitute 2 divisions. It's not just a simple delaying force, but a size that can actually carry out combat and conduct operations independently. North Korea deployed 11,000 troops to Russia's Kursk region in October 2024, with a possible second deployment of 4,000 troops in February. However, the third deployment has reached 30,000, surpassing the combined total of the previous 2 deployments. They're not just staff for rebuilding tasks like paving roads or clearing mines. According to a Cable News Network report, Ukrainian intelligence authorities have also stated that there is a very high possibility that North Korean troops will be directly deployed in offensive operations on the front lines held by Russian occupation forces. In other words, the likelihood of North Korean troops participating as actual combat forces, not just auxiliaries for the Russian military, has increased. Of course, this is a sign that Russia is having that much difficulty maintaining the front lines and is trying to solve its manpower shortage by bringing in forces from outside. Nevertheless, it is still quite threatening to us. It signifies that North Korea and Russia's cooperation is growing closer. Even more shocking is that until now, North Korea has only operated in Russia's mainland, such as Kursk. Recent analysis suggests that North Korean troops may enter territories formerly belonging to Ukraine that are now occupied by Russia. Russia has deployed 110,000 troops near Pokrovsk, indicating a major offensive is imminent. North Korean troops deploying to the front lines at this time would create a very challenging situation for Ukraine. Analysis suggests that North Korean troops could be directly deployed in the battle for Pokrovsk. Alternatively, they could indirectly participate by rotating with Russian units in the rear. In any case, it seems clear that North Korean troops will gain valuable combat experience by getting deeply involved in this war. In fact, the third country that will suffer the most from the deployment of North Korean troops is, without a doubt, South Korea. South Korea claims that it is North Korea. North Korean troops gaining real combat experience before returning home would be a valuable asset for North Korea. If you think about how the South Korean military gained a lot of real combat experience from the Vietnam War, you can imagine how much stronger the North Korean military could become. If North Korea's troops gain real combat experience and Russian military technology, those weapons could be aimed at us. That's understandable. There are even reports that North Korea is considering sending about 25,000 workers to Russian drone factories. North Korea reportedly plans to send 25,000 workers to the Yelabuga Special Economic Zone in Tatarstan, about 800 km east of Moscow. They say that the Shahed 136 drones are being developed here. The Shahed 136 drone is the so-called suicide drone that many of you are probably familiar with. It's known to be a fairly cost-effective weapon. The factory manufacturing Shahed 136 drones is reportedly facing a severe staffing shortage. North Korea is offering to supply the labor force. Meanwhile, North Korea is allegedly preparing to obtain drone technology and train its staff in drone operation. While 25,000 workers may be an exaggeration given the factory's size and capacity, it's evident that Russia and North Korea are growing closer in their cooperation. North Korea appears highly interested in drone technology, particularly kamikaze drones, and is actively seeking to acquire this technology by all possible means. Drones are expected to dominate modern warfare in the future. In recent major wars and conflicts like the Iran-Israel war, the India-Pakistan war, and the Ukraine war, drones have played a major role in all of them. Drones are cost-effective weapons, making them an excellent choice for North Korea's weak economy. A single drone can destroy a tank, which is why North Korea is trying to learn from Russia's drone technology. According to recent reports, North Korea has begun domestic production of Shahed-136 drones. Russia is reportedly sending instructors to Pyongyang and Wonsan to train drone pilots. Less than a month after reports in early June of Russia transferring Shahed drone technology to North Korea, the latter is already producing them. If North Korea acquires Shahed drones, South Korea is likely to suffer considerable harm. I also served in the military, but currently they do not train any methods to counter drones. In the unlikely event of war with North Korea, their large-scale drone attacks could cause significant damage initially. For instance, Shahed drones have a considerable range of approximately 1,000 to 2,500 kilometers. The entire Korean peninsula and Jeju Island are within their range. Moreover, Shahed drones are loud and slow, making them easy to detect and intercept. Intercepting mass-produced, low-cost drones with missiles is a cost-ineffective defense strategy, making drones the most economical weapon. During the Iran-Israel war, Iran sent many Shahed drones to Israel, which were crucial in depleting Israel's interceptor missiles. North Korea has begun producing nuclear weapons, and its ties with Russia have grown stronger. Recently, there was news that North Korea installed Russia's Pantsir S-1 air defense system in Pyongyang. The Pantsir S-1 is regarded as the top-performing low and medium-altitude air defense system. This weapon combines anti-aircraft guns and surface-to-air missiles with radar, intercepting various missiles and fighter jets within a 20-kilometer range. North Korea's introduction of the Pantsir S-1 shows that cooperation between North Korea and Russia has strengthened. This demonstrates North Korea's military is strengthening by incorporating Russian technology. What does the future hold? South Korea must promptly research and implement drone doctrines and conduct related training swiftly. There are certainly people who say that war won't break out, but not preparing for it would be a foolish thing to do. We need to study drone warfare and strengthen our capabilities even further. Furthermore, North Korea and Russia's relationship will grow closer, with North Korea likely receiving more powerful weapons from Russia, strengthening their alliance. So we need to respond to this. For example, strengthening cooperation with the United States could be one way, and strengthening cooperation with the United Nations Command could also be an option. As international sanctions against North Korea have lost effectiveness, finding new ways to pressure the country is crucial. North Korea's plan to send 30,000 more troops to Russia is a significant military development that shouldn't be dismissed as a minor foreign news item. This is not simply a matter of North Korea sending troops. This is a complex issue that could have major long-term implications for security on the Korean peninsula. North Korea's military alliance with Russia unites two of the world's most unstable forces, as they now engage in joint military operations. This development in international politics is of utmost significance. A force of 30,000 is substantial and cannot be overlooked. The deployment of a substantial North Korean military force to Russia's front lines indicates their involvement will extend beyond providing labor and approach full-scale warfare in the operational area. In exchange, Russia is supplying North Korea with advanced weapons tech, reconnaissance systems, and drone operation techniques beyond simple compensation. With North Korea and Russia strengthening military ties and practical cooperation in areas ranging from drones to troops, South Korea's course of action is clear. Military power must be strengthened, defense systems made more precise, and the treatment of soldiers improved to be more practical and systematic. We must respond not only to North Korea's military buildup, but also to all developments stemming from the close North Korea-Russia ties. What are your thoughts on North Korea deploying more troops? Share in the comments below. Thanks for watching.